Let's do a Q&A on what to do when you feel like your man is stonewalling you or ghosting you or just gives you the silent treatment. Hi everyone, Mireille Nicole here, relationship coach, and a few weeks ago I posted a video all about ghosting, stonewalling, what to do when your man gives you the silent treatment, and I got some really good questions in the comments. So I wanted to do another video to share those responses to the questions that I gave to women who are watching, and also to elaborate on my response a little bit more. One of the things that I share that's really important to remember when it comes to getting the cold shoulder from your partner is that men, a lot of times when they're feeling stressed or they're trying to solve a problem or there's something bothering him, what they need the most is some space. We as women, we like to talk things out. We like to work it through verbally, but men, a lot of times they need to go hide in their cave. And usually the best thing that we can do is let them do that so they can work through whatever they are working through that we might not understand in the moment, so that they can come back out and be the partner that we need them to be. Now, I know this can be very difficult, and if you have an anxious attachment style, especially, this is going to be really difficult. This is what's going to trigger us. It's what's going to make us feel nervous or scared of losing the relationship. And I remember being in that boat where whenever me and my partner had an argument and we would just go off our separate ways and be quiet, it always felt like this was going to be the last argument, the one that was going to break us up, and it would make me so scared inside. But trust me, once you learn to understand this is a natural phase most of the time that men go through, and the more you can be supportive during that period of time, really work on yourself and your self-care and making yourself happy and living a fulfilling life, the more you're going to see a great response when your husband or your partner or your boyfriend, whoever he is, when he comes back out of that cave, the better it's going to be for the both of you, and the stronger and the more growth you can see together as a couple. All right, so I'm going to answer 3 questions. I'm going to read them out for you here. He was quite distant, and that's why I wanted to give him space. After a day without communication, he told me that he misses me without telling me he wants to see me. We haven't talked for 5 days now. He's not very active on social media. I'm afraid to initiate. He's quite avoidant. I honestly don't know what to do. So I asked the follow-up question, and I found out that after he told her that he misses her, they engaged in a little bit of small talk, and then it just ended there. I was really curious to know what she responded to him missing her, and she did say that she reciprocated and said that she misses him also. But then it just stayed in the realm of friend zone, it seems like, and it was kind of superficial small talk, and it kind of ended there from what I know. But the first thing I want to comment on is the first part of the question where she says he was quite distant, and that's why I wanted to give him space. I would say if you find yourself in that situation, the first thing you want to do is really clarify and really be clear that he does actually need space. Now, like I said earlier, most of the time, if they're working through something and you can sense that, give him space, that's fine. And it sounds like she had a pretty good read on him and intuitively knew to give him space because he came back and told her that he misses her. Now, what I would have suggested at this part, though, is when she reciprocated back and also said that she misses him, I would have recommended to her, if she was one of my coaching clients, to say, how do we fix this? Where do you want to go next? What do you want to do? Something about really being still invested in the relationship, but asking him, how does he see fixing it? So I think one of the reasons it might have stayed in the friend zone is that neither one was super clear in terms of wanting to put effort into the relationship or make things work. Now, maybe this had been discussed beforehand and it was leading nowhere, and that's why they found themselves in this situation. But I think it's really important, especially when things are kind of rocky or shaky or you feel unsure about something, clear, direct communication, short, brief communication is going to be your best bet, and not to be scared to say, hey, what do we do? Hey, I really want to work this out. What do you think? Because honestly, even if you're scared of the answer, think about it. It's better to know, right? It's a win-win. You'll either know, you'll get a clear answer, and then you can either move on or continue growing that relationship, as opposed to just kind of leaving things hanging and wondering forever what happened. Now, the second question I got was, my man said he needs a break, but I don't want him to do it. He said he's having too much pressure. What to do? Now, this goes back to what I shared earlier on in the video, where you're definitely going to want to give your man space if that's what he needs. I'm sensing here that this woman might have a bit of an anxious attachment style, so the idea of giving him space feels really scary to her. She's probably someone that really needs to emotionally connect with someone, have that closeness, and giving space is really going to activate that within her and make her resort to protest behavior, things like texting your man a lot, calling him, chasing him, which is totally going to push him away, which could be one of the reasons why her man does want a break in this case. Now, the biggest gift you can give a man, or one of the biggest gifts, is to actually listen to what he needs, give him what he needs, right? Like within boundaries, of course, not for bad behavior if he wants to, indulge in bad behavior, but if he needs a bit of space, if he needs to think about something, the best thing you can do is to give him that space, give him that break or that distance, and really work on your own self-care so that when he does come back, because if you do this correctly, most of the time he is going to come back, you can greet him again and be warm and happy and have lived your life and done all these things and taken care of yourself and have that and be more secure for yourself, right? And then you have that opportunity to work things through with him. So in this case, I would really recommend that this woman gives him the break or the space that he needs and to really focus on herself during that time. And the third question, the last question I'm going to answer for today goes, I don't know if this was an argument. At first, I was trying to be patient, but at this point, it feels like he's just ghosted me and it's over and I feel like an idiot. Oh man, I really feel this one. In this case, it's hard to really know what was going on in the relationship and why things went quiet. She even says herself, I don't know if this was an argument. So if it was an argument, then it would kind of influence the response I give. But if in this case, if they were kind of just dating and then she was trying to be patient because, I don't know, maybe they were just disagreeing on things or there was a little bit of friction in there. But it does sound like she was feeling a little bit of frustration maybe if she was trying to be patient. Either there was a bit of frustration there or the relationship wasn't going the way that she desired it to. So we all have a vision of how we would like things to go in a relationship. We all have kind of standards for how often we'd like to hear from our partner. So maybe in this case, things weren't matching up. But if she feels like he ghosted her after a while, I'm guessing he went quiet for a long time. So it was more than just not having the same kind of expectations in terms of how to communicate. If she's unsure whether or not things were an argument, maybe they were still getting to know each other, or maybe there was an unresolved issue in the relationship that wasn't being communicated effectively. So maybe her partner wasn't being open about it. He didn't know how to approach it. Maybe he didn't feel safe talking about it. And in her case, maybe she lacked the skills in terms of asking directly or asking in a compassionate way or in a way that makes the man want to open up so she could find out what was going on. It could also be if they were dating kind of earlier on in the relationship, or I guess at any stage during the relationship, right? Maybe there were things going on preventing her from being in her full goddess self, her full magnetism. So there's very specific ways that I teach women on how to show up in the relationship, how to communicate so they show up as the best version of themselves, the version that they truly are outside of all the traumas and the past experiences that they've had, so that they can be very magnetic to the man. So it could be also something happening in that area. In this case, I pointed her to a video that I had recorded about getting him back. So if you find yourself in a similar situation, make sure to go check that out. Those are the 3 questions or comments I wanted to cover today in this video about stonewalling, ghosting, getting the silent treatment. Hey, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me so that I can also answer them in the comments or in a video like this, please make sure to leave them down below. And if you want to watch the original video I did on this topic, I'm going to link to it here. All right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like any kind of personal guidance or support, or I have a new ebook out on the art of the argument, I'm going to put some links down here below for you to check out. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.